Wir hoffen, euch gefällt unser folgendes Top 5 Film-Ranking. Bitte schreibt uns euren Favoriten in den Kommentaren und abonniert unseren Kanal, um nie wieder einen guten Film zu verpassen. Nummer 5.
You ever served in an infantry unit, son?
No, sir.
Ever served in a forward area?
No, sir.
Ever put your life in another man's hands, asked him to put his life in yours?
No, sir.
We follow orders, son. We follow orders or people die. It's that simple. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear?
Crystal.
All those having business with this General Court-Martial, stand forward and you shall be heard.
The facts of the case are these. On midnight of September 6th, the accused entered the barracks room with their platoon mate. They woke him up, tied his arms and legs with tape, and forced a rag into his throat. A few minutes later, a chemical reaction caused his lungs to begin bleeding. He drowned in his own blood and was pronounced dead at 37 minutes past midnight.
You think Santiago was murdered?
Private Santiago is dead, and that is a tragedy. But he is dead because he had no code. He is dead because he had no honor. And God was watching.
How do you feel about that theory? Sounds good to me. I'll knock it all down to involuntary manslaughter.
No deal, we're going to court.
No, you're not.
Why not?
Because you'll lose. You want to investigate me? Roll the dice and take your chances. I eat breakfast 300 yards from 4,000 Cubans who are trained to kill me. So don't think for 1 second you can come down here, flash a badge, and make me nervous.
You men follow orders or people die.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth. Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You?
That if this case is handled in the same fast food, slick-ass Persian Bazaar manner with which you seem to handle everything else, then something's gonna get missed.
In the heart of the nation's capital, in a courthouse of the United States government, one man will stop at nothing to keep his honor, and one will stop at nothing to find the truth.
Nummer 4.
Highline Incorporated wird nun vertreten von Wyatt, Wheeler, Hallerman, Tedler und Brown. Und insbesondere von Andrew Beckett.
Ja!
Herzlichen Glückwunsch!
Ich danke Ihnen aufrichtig für Ihr Vertrauen in meine Fähigkeiten.
Mr. Beckett? Oh, wie geht's Ihnen? Was ist mit Ihrem Gesicht passiert?
Ich habe AIDS.
Oh.
Ich brauche einen Anwalt.
Für eine Klage gegen Wyatt, Wheeler, Hallerman, Tedlow und Brown?
Sie haben AIDS diagnostiziert, als ich wegen einer Lungenentzündung in Behandlung war. Was haben Sie auf der Stirn, Kumpel?
Hören Sie, Andy, jeder in diesem Zimmer ist Ihr Freund.
Ich habe eine wichtige Klageschrift verlegt. Das ist Ihr Argument.
Wir haben es besprochen, Ihre Zukunft meine ich. Und wir haben das Gefühl, weil wir Sie so sehr respektieren, müssen wir ehrlich Ihnen gegenüber sein.
Entschuldigen Sie. Bin ich etwa gefeuert?
Würdest du einen Klienten akzeptieren, bei dem du ständig denkst, hoffentlich berührt er mich nicht?
Ich habe einen Fall.
Ich will noch nicht mal, dass er mich anatmet.
Sie wollen es aus persönlichen Gründen nicht tun?
Danke, das ist richtig. Ich will's nicht.
Das ist ziemlich enttäuschend.
Sir, wäre es nicht angenehmer für Sie in unserem Nebenzimmer?
Nein. Wäre es vielleicht für Sie angenehmer?
Beckett, wie geht's Ihnen?
Anwalt.
Konnten Sie einen Anwalt finden?
In der Verhandlung werden Dinge zur Sprache kommen, die für euch schwer zu ertragen sind.
Ich will alles über sein Privatleben wissen. Ob er heimlich zu irgendwelchen zweifelhaften Gruppen gehört hat.
Ich habe meine Kinder nicht dazu erzogen, im Bus hinten zu sitzen.
Ist Andrew Beckett ein Anwalt, der entscheidende Dokumente verlegt?
Ich bin ein ausgezeichneter Anwalt.
Andrew Beckett wird sterben.
Sie waren sehr beeindruckt von Andrew Becketts Arbeit.
Andrew Beckett ist wütend.
Was für eine mächtige Kraft hat ihn wohl dazu gebracht, seine Meinung zu ändern?
Und er will, dass jemand dafür bezahlt.
TriStar Pictures präsentiert
Das Gesetz wurde gebrochen.
Ich will nur, was fair und gerecht ist.
Sie erinnern sich an das Gesetz, oder?
einen Film von Jonathan Demme.
Also lassen Sie uns darüber reden, worum es in diesem Fall überhaupt geht.
Ist der wirkliche Grund für Andrew Becketts Entlassung, dass er AIDS hat?
Der Hass der Allgemeinheit, unsere Abscheu, unsere Angst.
In diesem Gericht, Mr. Miller, ist die Justiz blind gegenüber sexueller Veranlagung.
Wir leben allerdings nicht in diesem Gericht, nicht wahr?
Tom Hanks.
Ich liebe das Recht.
Denzel Washington.
Sind Sie schwul?
Einspruch!
kommt.
In einer Geschichte über unser Leben.
Oh Mom, heute ist ein guter Tag.
Unsere Ängste.
Andy brachte AIDS in unsere Büros.
Und unsere Menschlichkeit.
Ich hasse diesen Fall.
Philadelphia.
Bei wie vielen Anwälten haben Sie es vor mir versucht?
9.
Nummer 3.
There is a new movie coming to this town. All those involved in this film will now be sworn in.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you have done your job in this picture to the best of your abilities? James Stewart?
I do.
Lee Remick?
I do.
Ben Gazzara?
I do.
Arthur O'Connell?
I do.
Eve Arden?
I do.
Catherine Grant?
I do.
And you, Duke Ellington?
I do.
And you, Joseph N. Welsh, who temporarily deserted the real law to play Judge Weaver?
I do.
This is highly irregular.
Irregular, John? Didn't you approve the screenplay by Wendell Mays?
Yes?
Didn't you, when I came up here, suggest that we shoot here in this courtroom? And didn't you yourself suggest every single location for the film, including your own house, that you were kind enough to lend us?
Well, that's true.
And didn't you, being not only a bestseller novelist, but also a justice of the Supreme Court of Michigan, didn't you supervise every single legal detail in the film?
Yes, Otto, but you don't have a jury.
Oh, that, you see, John, our jury is not just 12 men and women in a box. Our judge and jury sits out there, millions and millions of people in the theaters.
He said, I fooled my lawyer, I fooled that head shrinker, I'm gonna fool that bunch of corn cobbers on the jury.
You're a liar! You're a lousy, stinking liar!
Oh, could Muff have a little in that ashtray, maybe? He loves beer.
You want a beer for the dog?
Mm-hmm.
There we are.
He'll go to sleep now.
No, it's common knowledge in Thunder Bay you were living with Quill.
It's not true. Barney Quill was...
Was what, Miss Pallant? Barney Quill was what, Miss Pallant?
The #1 book is now the #1 movie, unanimously acclaimed by the press everywhere. This is what the New York Times said about Anatomy of a Murder. Strong suspense, pounding drama, uninhibited and uncensored, well-nigh flawless.
Now, until this trial's over, you're going to be a meek little housewife with horn-rimmed spectacles. And you're going to stay away from men and juke joints and booze and pinball machines, and you're going to wear a skirt and low-heeled shoes, and you're going to wear a girdle, and especially a girdle.
Why wouldn't I be legally justified in killing the man who raped my wife?
Time, Elman. Now, if you'd caught him in the act, the shooting might have been justified, but you didn't catch him in the act.
Wow, it's sensational. New York Daily News. One of the most extraordinary films ever made, Los Angeles Times. For those who can stand straight talk, Time magazine.
Well, doesn't a woman sort of instinctively know when a fellow's on the make?
Oh, sure. But that's only usual with me. With men, I mean. Almost all men, ever since I was a kid.
Did you cry out? Did you scream?
Didn't seem to be much use out there in the woods.
And this is what other critics said. As tense and thrilling a shocker as has come along in years. Life magazine. On every count, one of the best films of the year. New York Herald Tribune. Sacco Cinema. Don't miss Anatomy of a Murder. New York Post. The details are as plain-spoken in the film as in the book. A trial as tense as the one in the novel. Look magazine.
Is that because you know that Barney Quill bathed and changed and cooled off after he raped and beat hell out of this poor woman?
Your Honor, everybody in this court is being tried except Frederick Mannion. I must protest...
Now listen, this is a cross-examination murder case. It's not a high school debate. What are you and Dancer trying to do? Railroad this soldier into the clink?
Nummer 2.
The most electrifying entertainment of our time. The stunning climax to a half-century of motion picture suspense. The setting is London. The story, 2 people in love. A murder and a trial, climaxed by the 10 most breath-stopping minutes you've ever lived. The cast, Tyrone Power, in love with a woman who holds his life in her beautiful hands. Charles Laughton, in the most scintillating role of his brilliant career. Marlene Dietrich, the woman of mystery, a fascinating question mark.
Mrs. Vole, do you love your husband?
Leonard thinks I do.
Well, do you?
Am I already under oath?
We are dealing with a capital crime. The prosecution will try to hang your husband.
Betty, bye. We'd better go upstairs now. Get undressed and lie down.
What a nauseating prospect. How did you get hold of these?
What difference does it make so long she gets what's coming to her?
What have you got against her?
Ha! I'll give you something to dream about, mister. Want to kiss me, ducky?
Witness for the prosecution.
You killed Emily French.
No, I didn't. I didn't do it. I didn't kill her. I never killed anybody.
The question is, Frau Helm, were you lying then? Are you lying now? Or are you not, in fact, a chronic and habitual liar?
Damn you! Damn you! Leave her alone! Damn you!
Members of the jury, are you all agreed upon your verdict?
We are.
Do you find the prisoner at the bar, Leonard Stephen Vole, guilty or not guilty of the murder of Emily Jane French?
Guilty or not guilty? The answer to that question is the end of most mystery stories. But in witness for the prosecution, it is only the beginning of a series of climaxes that I defy you to guess. You'll talk about this picture all right, but you'll never tell the ending to your friends, because you won't want to spoil their excitement and their fun.
Nummer 1.
Of medical evidence that the crime Tom Robinson is charged with ever took place. Relied instead upon the testimony of 2 witnesses whose evidence has not only been called into serious question on cross-examination, but has been flatly contradicted by the defendant.
You better not. You know what Atticus said? I don't care if you did. I'm not going to miss the most exciting thing that ever happened in this town. You're just a bunch of lousy, yellow, stinking cowards! The whole bunch of you! And your fancy ass don't come to nothing! Your mammoth and your Miss May Ellen, it don't come to nothing, Mr. Finch!
Seid ihr mit unserer Liste einverstanden? Bitte lasst es uns in den Kommentaren wissen und für weitere Top 5 Filmvideos vergesst nicht, Community TV zu abonnieren.